welcome. This practice is meant to open the whole front line of the body. So we'll be opening into the shoulders, the chest, the fronts of the hips and the thighs, and the intention being to create a very open and very expansive quality. So we're going to start lying down. So coming down onto your back. Now offering is to have the soles of your feet together and your knees butterflied open. If that's too intense on your hips, your inner hips, inner thighs, then feel free to just place your feet flat onto the ground nice and wide and let your knees drape inwards. Arms, you can have hands on your belly if that feels good, or arms nice and wide out by your sides. Really wherever feels natural, comfortable for you. If your arms are out by your sides, just have palms of your hands facing up, facing open towards the ceiling. And if you can here, let's close our eyes or just soften your gaze. And then take a deep inhale and a big sighing exhale. Feel free to take a few more of those if that's feeling good, if that's helping you to settle and arrive. And as we lie here for our first moment, focusing your energy on finding softness. So being soft through your joints, through your muscles. Open through your breath, so nice and relaxed breathing. And especially focus that sense of softness into your rib cage, your chest, and your shoulders. So imagining or feeling any tightness or hardness or unnecessary armor melting and releasing. Feel your breath, that exchange of your breath coming in and out of your body. And as you breathe, you're actually expanding yourself beyond your body. Your breath is connecting you to the space around you, connecting you to everything and everyone around you. Big, relaxed, expansive breathing, soft body. Now let's stay here for just one more big breath. So take one more of your own deep breaths. You can sigh it out if you'd like. Now let's gather our feet to the ground, so legs into parallel. Give your knees a nice little squeeze in towards your chest. Now before we start to really move, we're going to just activate and stabilize through our core, through our center, so that as we go through this practice, we're moving into this very open and expansive place from a secure and grounded center. We've got a good strong place to expand from. So squeezing your knees into your chest, feel how your lower back really seals into the ground. We want to try to keep that. Take a big inhale breath and then a strong exhale. Tack your lower belly, your belly button, down to your spine. Tack your lower spine into the mat. Now releasing your hands to point up to the ceiling, and then send your knees away from your chest so that your knees stack over top of your hips. And it's like you're in a cat and cow or a tabletop position here, but you're just lying on your back instead of having your hands and your knees on the ground. Now take a nice inhale breath, and then exhale again. Firmly tack low belly down towards low spine to the floor. Now on your inhale, nice and slow, send your right arm up above your head and your left leg away from you. And you can have your leg a little closer to the ground or just more a little higher up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, pull back to that sort of upside down tabletop position. Other side, inhale, left arm and right leg. Slowly extend and expand away from your center. And then exhale, pull back towards that nice firm low belly. Keep going with that, and my voice might get a little quivery here as it is really challenging to your core stability. And then exhale, pull back in. Keep tacking your low back down into the mat. Again, other side. Left arm, right leg extends away equally on your inhale. Pull back into center on your exhale. Once more on each side. Breathing steady. Right arm and left leg. And then back to center. Exhale. Left arm and right leg expanding as you breathe in. And then pulling back to that firm center on your exhale. Now, both arms and both legs, and maybe your legs just stretch up towards the ceiling, or maybe you send your legs a little bit further away from you. You decide. So inhale, legs and arms extend. And then exhale, pull everything into a tiny little ball. So forehead up to your knees. Draw your shoulders up off the ground. 2 more times like that. Inhale, arms extend away, legs extend away. And then exhale, pull into a tiny little ball. Last one, breathing in. Keep that lower back really connected to the ground. And exhale, pull in nice and tiny. Now hug your arms around your knees, squeeze in. Let's take a little rock up and down through the spine. Maybe a couple times. And then let's shift all the way up to forward fold. So just bring your weight into your feet, top of your mat. Set up, feet hip width apart, nice and parallel. And then big sigh if you'd like. Tumble your head down. Shimmy out your shoulders a little bit. Bobble out your head. Maybe flutter out through your lips. Now with your next inhale breath, let's bring fingertips to the ground or to your shins for a halfway lift. Expand and extend the spine long. And then exhale. Release your head again. Once more, halfway lift. Inhale. So your breath is initiating that expansion. And exhale, release. Now rising to stand, bend your knees as much as you need to. Let's sweep the arms wide and high. And then pull hands down to that heart center. Standing steady and tall. Hook your thumbs out in front of you. Little bend in your knees. With your inhale, pull your arm bones back. Puff up through your sternum, up through your chest. Try to keep low spine, low back nice and neutral. So that's your inhale. And then exhale, bend your knees deeply. Sweep your arms back by your sides. Belly and chest come down over thighs. 2 more times. Hook your thumbs. Breathe in and stand tall. Arm bones hug back, chest puffs open. Exhale, sweep arms back, big bend in the knees. Last one, inhale, hook the thumbs, expansive breath. Now this time, interlace your hands behind you, forward fold. Let your head drop towards the ground. Fingertips to the mat, half lift, breathing in. And step the right foot all the way back, lower right knee to the mat. Crescent lunge, big sweep of your arms up towards the ceiling. Now we'll take some circles with our arms here. So like you're drawing circles in the air with your fingertips. Start to hug back through your shoulders. Circle your fingertips back and down. And then continue circling all the way forwards. 2 more times. You go as slowly as you need to. Inhale, circle, circle, kind of reach into the end of your range of motion there. And exhale, circle forwards. Last one. Nice, relaxed breathing. Take your time. And exhale, circle forwards. So take our hands to the mat. Inhale, breath. Downward dog on your exhale breath. And then just pause in that first downward dog for a nice big breath in. Heavy heels and breathe out. Ripple forwards to plank pose. So really shifting forward, shoulders over top of your wrists. And then with your exhale, hug your elbows right into your rib cage. Keep your shoulders gathering back, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Point your toes and tense your fingers wide, about shoulder height off of your mat. Inhale, fingertip cobra. Really squeeze your shoulder blades back as you open up across your chest. Puff open through your sternum. Now just pause there. If your shoulders are way up by your ears, try to slide your shoulder blades down your back. And then let's slowly melt back down, belly, rib cage, chest, come to the mat. Scoop your hands in by your lower ribs. Cobra, Bhujangasana, shoulders hug back again, big puff open through your chest. Now use your exhale to press back through hands and knees, downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack the right hip open on top of the left. Long, strong arms, really press into the ground, into the mat with your hands. Inhale, breath where you are. And then exhale, pull that right knee all the way over towards your left elbow and step your right foot to the left side of your mat. Spin your back heel to the ground and sweep your left arm open. This is our fallen triangle shape, or option for reverse side plank right off the bat here if you'd like. Stay to inhale, lift the hips up nice and high, and then slowly thread back to that three-legged dog on your exhale. Bend your right knee and stack the right hip open again. Breathing in. Breathe out, pull your right knee towards your forehead and step right foot between the hands. Come onto your fingertips. Back leg stays straight. Sink your pelvis, sink your hips. Gather your shoulders back and take a little peek forwards through your gaze and your chest. Inhale, breath. Exhale, extend your front leg as best as you can and bow inwards. Breathe in and bend that right knee. Take a little peek forwards. And then exhale, sweep right arm open towards the ceiling. Low twisted lunge. Stay there again to inhale. Forward fold top of your mat. Exhale, breath. Rise to stand. Soften the knees if you need to. Sweep the arms wide and high. Hands pull to heart, center, exhale. Now again, hooking your thumbs. Little bend in the knees. Peel your arm bones back. Puff open through your chest. Inhale, breath. And then sweep the arms back as you bend the knees deeply. Exhale. 2 more times. Follow the breath. Hook thumbs. Breathe in. Sweep it back. Breathe out. Again, thumbs hook. Inhale. This time, interlace hands behind you as you fold forwards. Exhale. Fingertips to mat, half lift. Breathing in, long spine. Step your left toes all the way back and lower your knee with your breath out. Rise on up to crescent lunge. Now here we go, starting with those circles. So fingertips drawing circles in the space next to you. Open the chest. Breathing deeply, slowly circle down and forwards. And you've got 2 more of those. Again, feel free to take it at your own pace. Lean into that edge of your range of motion through your shoulders and try to breathe into that edge. Soften into that edge. Let's take our hands down onto the mat. Inhale, breath. Downward dog with your exhale, breath. Rippling forwards to your plank pose. Shift shoulders over wrists. And then with your exhale, again, bend your elbows, hug them right into the sides of your waist. Keep your belly nice and firm, nice and secure. Lower all the way to the ground. Interlace your hands behind your pelvis this time, moving into locust pose so your toes are stretched back behind you. Peel your shoulders back, puff your chest forwards, lengthen and lift up through your chest, shoulders, legs, feet, thighs. Breathing, expansive breaths, belly into the ground. Now once more, inhale, gather the shoulders back, and then exhale, soften to the ground. Hands placed by your low ribs. Again, cobra pose. So shoulders and elbows hug back as your chest puffs up and open, and then exhale through hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps up to three-legged dog. Bend the left knee and stack the left hip open. Take an inhale breath. Really extend your energy down through your arms into your hands. And then exhale, pull left knee over to right elbow. Stepping left foot to the right side of your mat. Back heel spins down. Right arm sweeps skywards. Fallen triangle is here, or hugging up through your inner thighs into reversed side plank. Take a big, full, expansive breath. And then take it back to that three-legged dog, nice and slow. Bend the left knee, stack the left hip open. Inhale. Exhale, left knee pulls to forehead and step left foot between the hands. Come onto your fingertips. Take a little sink of the hips. Keep that back leg nice and straight. Sink the pelvis. Little gather your shoulders back, peek forwards. Big breath in. And exhale, lengthen your front leg, bow inwards. Inhale, bend that left knee again. And then exhale, peel the left arm open towards the ceiling. Low twisted lunge. Inhale where you are. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Let's rise to stand with that breath in. Circle arms wide and high. Hands to heart, and exhale. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Bend your right elbow and bring your fingertips down between your shoulder blades. Catch a hold of that right elbow with your left hand. And then bend knees for chair pose. Keep your belly slightly gathering back towards your low spine so you've got that nice center of support. Now pick up your right foot, right leg. Wrapping the right leg over top into eagle pose, so eagle wrap with the legs. Your choice if you want a single or double wrap. And now try to really gather that right elbow up and back as you keep your core, your belly, softly hugging back towards the spine. Nice and focused breath. Steady gaze, steady eyes. One more round of inhale and exhale. Good. Now unraveling that right leg. Slowly rise up. Extend your right toes straight out in front of you, and let's extend both arms, so all 10 fingertips up towards the ceiling as well. Relax the shoulders. Stand tall as you can. Breathe in, lift that right leg. And then exhale, slowly float back to warrior 3. So like a big pendulum. Right leg sweeps back. Crown your head extends forwards. Lengthen your spine. Reach forwards through the top of the head and back through your right foot. Inhale. Exhale, bend your standing knees slowly to try to reach your right toes all the way to the back of your mat. High lunge this time. Back leg stays straight. Arms rise up, and here we go with those same circles. So inhaling, circling up and back. And exhale, circle down and forwards. And keep going 2 more rounds. Deep, deep breath. Leaning into that edge of where your range of motion kind of stops. So you're softening into those corners, softening into those places that don't want to quite move quite so much. Now let's sweep the arms up, hands find prayer, and we'll take a twist. Right elbow to outside of your left thigh. About 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. Really gather that top shoulder, your left shoulder back. Keep your back leg, that should be your right leg, really strong, really firm. Nice cleansing belly breaths. And then gaze down to the top of your mat. Release your hands. 3-legged dog, left leg sweeps high. Pulling forwards to 3-legged plank pose. If you'd prefer just regular plank, go for it. Chaturanga, lower half, we're all the way down. Exhale. Now let's pull forwards and open, finding your upward dog or your cobra. Breathe it in, and then up and back to down dog with your exhale. Soften your knees down to the mat. Bum to your heels. Reach your fingertips back behind you. Gather your shoulders back. And either keep your bum here on your heels Or press your hips up away from your heels if that's okay, on your low back and on your knees. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale. Reach your hands out in front of you and round your spine. So you're coming into cat pose. And let's do that again. Bum to heels, fingertips behind you. Inhale, open up whole front line of the body. And exhale, hands in front, round your spine. Now, nice flat back, flat spine, tuck the toes, return to downward dog. You're going to take the right leg high, three-legged dog, bend that right knee again, stack your right hip open on top of the left. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pull over, right knee to left elbow, right into that fallen triangle or reversed side plank. We've already been here, so let's check it in again. Deep, deep breath. Reach and expand. And then exhale, thread it back to that three-legged dog. Right knee bends, hip opens. This time we can continue up and over into wild things. So coming to that outer edge of your left foot, right toes find the ground behind you. And then with really strong feet and legs, press your hips up and open. Hug your shoulder blades onto the back of your chest and reach out of right fingertips. Take an inhale breath and a sighing exhale. Slow motion, shift around. Right hand to the mat. Pull your right knee in towards your forehead and step your foot between your hands. Let's soften back knee to the ground. Left hand reaches out to that left side just a little bit wider. We're moving into thigh stretch. So your right arm can circle up and back. Option to grab a hold of your left foot here with your right hand. If that's not suitable for you, keep your left foot on the ground. Right hand resting to the top of your right thigh. And as always, you can lower down into your forearm if you want to get in there a little bit deeper. Take some nice big sighs at any point if you need, remembering those expansive, relaxed breaths. Releasing, softening, and connecting you to the space around you. Let's take our last breath here and your version of thigh stretch. And then mindfully release your back foot. Let's come on up to the hands if you're on the forearm. We'll reach our right hand out in front of us and we're shifting right into half moon pose. So right hand tense underneath your right shoulder. Open up the left hip, the left shoulder to stack on top of the right. Feel free to hang out here, left leg, left arm straight, wide and expansive, or go ahead, see if you can balance, and bend that left knee, catch the left foot with left hand, and we've got the thigh stretch, Chapasana variation here. Remembering to keep your center, your low belly, softly hugging back to the spine to help you stabilize. Steady center, steady place in which to expand and open from. Good, let's release that leg nice and long now. Smooth transition as best as you can. Bend your standing knee, your right knee, and slowly step back to warrior two. Do your best to make all of these transitions really controlled, really steady and grounded. Now, warrior two, settle your weight down into your feet. And then we'll turn that front palm to face up to the ceiling. Reverse warrior, exalted warrior. Option here to wrap your right hand around the back of your skull and then lean your skull into your hand to really open into that right armpit, right shoulder, and down that whole right side of your waist. Keep your forehead relaxed. Keep some nice weight in that front thigh. One more round of breath. And then draw up through center and let's cartwheel the hands all the way down to the ground and step right foot back to meet your left. Downward dog. And then right away, let's walk your hands back towards your feet. Roll on up to stand. Tiny bend in your knees here. Just a soft little micro bend. Nice steady core. So low belly, hugging back. Stabilize the low spine. Arms wrap behind you, and let's place the hands onto the back of the pelvis. Hug shoulders back. Puff open across sternum and chest. This is a standing back bend, standing camel pose. And you're welcome to stay here. Really just focusing on opening across your chest, moving this back bend into the upper spine. If you want to go further, then walk your hands down the backs of your legs. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back of your chest. And go for that nice big puffing open across your sternum. Maybe the head can drape back. Breathe steady. And then to come back up. Belly button to spine. Bend the knees even more deeply. And fold forwards. Take a halfway lift. Walk your hands back up to the top of your mat. Downward dog. Now option one here is you can just take one step or hop of your feet to the top of your mat. Option two, if you're if you're comfortable with some donkey kicks, feel free to load up that spring of your legs and then release and kick your heels to your bum. Maybe finding a few little hops, maybe a moment of hover, and then we'll all come on up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Take a sigh if you need to. Shimmy out the shoulders and neck if you need to. And then take your time. Let's rise back up to stand. Adjust your hair if you need to. Inhale, arms rise. And hands to heart center. Exhale. Good, all of that on the other side. So left arm rises, bend the elbow, fingertips between shoulder blades. Catch a hold of left elbow with your right hand. Find that chair pose, again with that sense of soft hug, lift of belly towards low back. And then lift up your left leg and wrap it on over the right. We've got our eagle pose with our legs, single or double wrap. And then we're trying to draw the left elbow up and back. And breathe steady. And breathe calm. And find a nice clear, relaxed gaze with your eyes, with your drishti, your focus. We'll start to unravel and send the left toes directly forward. Send all 10 fingertips up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift that left leg a little higher. And then exhale, take a slow float of the left leg back. Big pendulum, upper body forwards, warrior three pose. Crown of the head forwards, left toes back. Get as long as you can. Now bend that standing knee, your right knee, and slow transition again with as much control as you can. Step left toes to the back of the mat. High lunge. Here we go, last round of these big circles. Draw in the space around you with your fingertips. Really go for it. Feel your way through. And don't rush the places that feel more challenging. In fact, take a little more time in those places that feel a bit sticky. Breathe a little bit more into those corners and into those edges. You've got one more big circle. Relaxed and expansive breath. And then circle your arms back up towards the ceiling. Last time, hands find prayer. We're moving into that twist. Left elbow outside of right thigh. 2 or 3 deep breaths. Stay steady through your foundation here, your legs, so that back leg is really firm, really straight and strong. Anchor through the big toe mound of your front foot. And then gather your top shoulder, your right shoulder back, and give yourself a nice little ringing out. Let's release, hands to the ground, three-legged dog, right leg sends up and back behind you. And then pull forwards to plank or three-legged plank on an inhale breath. And we're moving through chaturanga, exhale. Swing it open to your upward facing dog. Really gather the shoulders back. Puff the sternum open, downward dog, up and over the toes. Right away, knees to the ground, bum to your heels. Fingertips behind you. This is a baby camel pose. Keep hips on heels or press the hips up away from the heels. Inhale. And then exhale, hands in front of you. Round the spine. Cat pose. We'll do that one more time. So bum back. Shoulders hug back. Maybe lift the hips. And exhale, hands in front of you. Round your spine. Now tuck your toes, flat back, flat neutral spine, and then downward dog. Just send the hips up and back. Left leg sweeps up to three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open left hip on top of the right. You're taking your inhale breath. And exhale, swing that left knee over to right elbow. Fallen triangle or reversed side plank. Sweep your hips up towards the ceiling. Big inhale wherever you are, and then exhale, slow thread back to three-legged dog. Bend the left knee and open the hip. Continuing around to wild thing, shifting to outside edge of right foot. Left toes find the ground behind you. Again, with that strength of your legs, press the fronts of your hips straight up to the ceiling and then hug your shoulder blades back and reach out of left fingertips. We're taking a sighing breath in and out. Now take your time to shift around. Both hands find the mat. Slowly pull your left knee all the way in towards your forehead and step left foot between hands. Back knee softens to the ground. Take your right hand a little wider out to the right side, slightly forwards of your shoulder. Moving to thigh stretch, so nice big circle of your left arm up and back. Maybe grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand, or your variation of this if you want to keep that back foot on the ground. If you want to lower down onto your forearm. Go ahead and close your eyes at any point if you'd like, or take big juicy sighing breaths. Hanging out here for a few moments to really get into that opening of the front of the right hip. Try to keep your jaw relaxed. So if you're noticing a little bit of tension there, try to unhinge your jaw. Relax the muscles around your cheeks, the back of your throat. Now let's let that go. So let your back foot release. Come on up to the hands. Half moon pose is where we're going. So left hand's tenting out in front, right underneath your left shoulder, and then we're swinging open. Right hip stacks on top of left, right shoulder stacks on top of left. Stay here, just working this big, expansive, like a starfish reaching in all directions. Or if you're comfortable with the Chapasana variation, again, you can grab right ankle with right hand. And with that secure center, little hug of belly towards spine, you can maybe kick that right foot back into the right hand. Continue to breathe. Relaxed breath. Now let's slowly release that back leg long. Bend into your standing knee. Here's this somewhat awkward but very strengthening transition. Slow step back to warrior two. Try to smooth it out as best as you can. And then settle your weight down into your feet. Really steady and grounded. Front palm faces skywards. Take that reversed warrior. Left hand option to grab the back of your skull and lean your head into your hand. Relax your forehead with the weight of your head leaning into the hand. Lengthen and open into that left shoulder, left armpit, left side body. Maybe sink into that warrior pose, that warrior lunge. Take one more deep inhale breath. And then exhale, let's release and cartwheel the hands all the way down. Step back to downward facing dog. Hang out here in downward dog, or option for another flow through Vinyasa, just a nice steady flow through plank. Chaturanga, exhale, keep the shoulders hugging back. Pull the chest forwards and open, like you're pulling your chest through the gate of your shoulders. And then downward dog, exhale. Right leg sweeps high to the ceiling, breathing in, and step right foot forwards between hands and breathe out. We'll lower that back knee to the ground. And then come on up here, hands on top of your front thigh. If you'd like to, you can always double up your mat underneath that back kneecap if it feels a little sensitive. Now lots of options here. Option one, just stay. Hands on top of that front thigh, shoulders hug back. Nice lift up through the chest, up through the sternum. Okay, option two, if you'd like to interlace your hands behind you, again, squeeze those shoulder blades back and use the hands interlaced behind you to work a little bit more of a back bend, so more of a puff of the chest with that slight lean back into the upper spine. Now last option here, right hand can be on the top of your right thigh and left hand can reach back and grab your left inner ankle, coming into this same hand to foot thigh stretch. If you are going for the thigh stretch, make sure everything doesn't open out to the side there, so really keep your hips and your shoulders nice and square. Wherever you are, last deep, deep breath. Take an inhale and an exhale. And come on up through center. Lean over that front thigh. And we'll take it into a variation of split. So half split, of course, always available. Pull your hips back. So you've got your hips stacked over top of that back knee. And you're just lengthening that front leg and softly bowing forwards. If you want to go deeper, then you can slide your feet away from each other. And you don't have to get into a full split. That's really not the point here. The point is to find your edge of a stretch. And once you find your edge, to really breathe and settle in and soften into that edge. Relaxed jaw, relaxed breathing, expansive breathing. Last breath, let's take a sighing breath in and out. Now it's a little awkward to come out of that split, especially if you've gotten a little deeper, so just kind of creep your way out of that as best as you can. We'll sweep it back to three-legged dog, right leg high. Again, bend the knee and open up the hip. Now, if you're interested in moving into wild thing again, come on over to the outer edge of your left foot, right toes behind you, and same thing. You can wrap it around, and if you'd like a different variation, let's take left knee, left shin onto the ground, right arm and right leg long into a stargazer shape, little less pressure on the shoulders. Open up, up, up. Again, whole front line of the body, expansive, open, wide. And then let's gather back around. So coming towards that three-legged dog again, right leg is up and back behind you. And now pigeon pose. We'll pull that right shin forwards and settle down. So I use my back toes here to kind of crawl my hips back and down a little closer to the ground. If you really need to just chill it out here, lean forwards, rest your forehead on something, and let go into the ground. Okay, if you're wanting to continue to sort of play with more of this front body opening, then Let's stay upright and come onto your fingertips and hug your shoulders back. And again, puff up and open across the front of the chest. Now you can stay right here. Again, I'll throw out a whole bunch of options so you can take whatever feels good or leave whatever isn't serving you. So if you'd like to interlace the hands behind you, you can check that in and then squeeze your shoulder blades back and puff your chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, that's an option. Another option is right hand tense out in front of you. Thigh stretch, left hand grabs the inner left ankle and just hang out there, or get the toes into the crook of your elbow. Keep your shoulders nice and square. Of course, you can move into mermaid pose if that's something you're playing with in your practice, right? Or just ignore everything that I'm saying and continue to just release into that forward fold. Now, wherever you are, whatever you're playing with, you can take one final breath, maybe a big sigh, and then we'll rise on up and release it back to downward facing dog. If you prefer to take a little moment here of something other than downward dog, hands and knees, and you're welcome to flow through some rounds of cat and cow, or we'll cycle through another Vinyasa, rippling out to plank, chaturanga, keeping really steady with your alignment, with your breath, dragging your chest forwards and open again, like you're pulling your chest through the gate of your shoulders, and then downward dog with an exhale. Left leg rises, inhale breath, and step left foot forwards between hands. With your exhale, back knee softens down. Feel free again here to double up your mat underneath that back kneecap if you'd like. Let's rise on up into that crescent lunge. Easy shoulders, nice long neck. Stay here. First option, just hands on top of that front thigh. Shoulders route back. Lifting up through your sternum like you're lifting up through a beautiful silver platter, an offering, a nice tray of that sternum of your heart. Okay, staying there, hands interlaced behind you, shoulder blades stitched together on the back of your chest, leaning a bit more into that back space as you really press up and open through your sternum bone. Final option again was left hand on top of left thigh, reaching with your right hand back for your inner right ankle, coming into the thigh stretch here. Again, just being mindful that everything doesn't kind of spin open, so you really have to pull back through your left hip and pull back through your left shoulder to keep hips and shoulders square. Expansive breath, relaxed breath. Let's slowly release. Lean forwards, fingertips to either side of your front leg, your front foot. Half split or deeper split. Remember, we don't have to try to flatten ourselves down into any of these shapes. Our goal is just to find our own edge. And remember that our edge can change day by day. So just taking the ego part of it out of the equation and just noticing and feeling where your edge is. And it helps a lot to close your eyes so you're not focused on, how close you are to the ground in your split or in any other shape. You're focused more on just the sensation and the experience of what you're doing from the inside out. Let's take our last breath. Maybe a big sigh. And then ease your way awkwardly or not so awkwardly out of your split and release it to three-legged dog. Bend left knee. I know we've done this a lot. Stack left hip open. This is the last time. Shifting around into one last wild thing. Rolling to outer edge of right foot. Left toes behind you. So go ahead and expand open there, or that slightly gentler variation. Right shin on the ground underneath you. reach, that sense again of almost like a starfish reach. Reach out of your left arm, out of your left leg, spin your chest open, relax the face and the jaw. Let's take our time to shift around. Three-legged dog, left leg is high to pull into pigeon pose, left shin forwards. So with those back toes, again, kind of creeping your hips back and down. And here, maybe you just want to lean forwards and really sink into this juicy hip stretch. So you're more than welcome to just come and hang out. I definitely recommend that you rest your forehead on something though, so that your neck muscles can just let go and release. So if you're checking in that, just ignore me. Tune out my voice for the next minute or two. If you're coming into some of these more back bending variations, front body opening variations, then rise on up, come onto your fingertips, shoulder blades wrap back, sternum bone like that plaid or puffs up and open. Stay there, or feel free to interlace hands behind you. Shoulder blades squeeze back and you're trying to puff up and open, so moving into that upper spine. Breathe. Find your edge. Breathe. Again, last variation could be the thigh stretch, left hand tense in front, right hand can reach back for the right ankle or get the toes and the crook of the elbow, and any other variations there. If you want to move into the mermaid variation, you're welcome to, wherever you are. Expansive breath. Feel where you are from the inside out. You don't have to force anything. And when you are done, when you've had enough, you can release forwards for like a breath or two, just to release that back bend. And this time we will come on up, hands to the mat, shift back to plank pose. Take an inhale breath and then slowly lower all the way to your belly on your exhale. Okay, so one back bend here on our belly. So hands can be interlaced behind you, just as we did earlier in the practice. Shoulders hugging back, chest puffing open, legs and feet and thighs lifting. That's our locust pose, Shalabhasana. Or option to reach back for the outsides of your ankles with your hands, and we'll come into bow pose, Dhanurasana. If you are grabbing the ankles, let's flex the feet so you've got a nice hook to grab onto, and then start to extend back, trying to reach your shins towards the wall behind you. So you're stamping your shins back, and that starts to peel your shoulders back and your chest open. Now breathe a lot of breath here, and try to focus again on your rib cage, your chest, and your shoulders softening, being supple, releasing any armor, any tightness that isn't necessary. One more deep breath, and then exhale, slowly, sweetly release to the ground. You can rest one cheek onto the mat. Let all of that effort go. Good. Now we'll take one arm out in front of us and just simply roll on over onto our backs. Now this is a heart opening practice, so we have one more back bend on offer. Take it or leave it. As with everything, if you want to just ignore me, that is always an option, right? You're the authority of your own practice throughout this all. So feet flat on the ground, hip width apart, and really parallel. And we'll move into a bridge pose, or possibly into a full wheel, depending on your practice. So we'll start with bridge and then add on from there. Arms down by your sides. Maybe you can touch the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale. Root down through your feet and hollow your belly to first just lift your tailbone, then the back of your pelvis, and then slowly roll up through your spine. Up, 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 up. Hip points like elbows, stretching straight up towards the ceiling. If you're going to stay with bridge, again, let's interlace hands. I know lots of hands interlacing, but go ahead here. You can interlace your hands underneath you and take a little shimmy of your shoulders and your arms underneath your chest. So you're really able to puff your sternum, puff your chest towards your chin, and press your hips nice and high. Stick with that. Full wheelers, hands place up as wide as the outside edges of your shoulders and come up to the crown of your head first. And then hug your shoulder blades onto the back of your chest, puff your sternum, and then start to lengthen your elbows and breathe a lot of breath. There's a lot of effort going into these back bend shapes, but you have to be soft in order to open this deeply. You have to allow yourself to expand without rigidity, tension, and gripping. So find that deep breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, slowly come down. If you're coming out of full wheel, chin into your chest. So you first come to the back of your head and then very mindfully roll down through the rest of your spine. Good. Find the ground. Let your energy settle. You may want to walk your feet about mat width apart. Let your knees drape inwards towards each other and rest your hands on your belly, or even hands to prayer, resting on your forehead. Feel the effects, the after effects, like the ash of that back bend, of all that opening. And just allow yourself to settle, your energy to reground. Now let's place our feet again hip width apart, knees nice and parallel. And first off, just hug your right knee in towards your chest. So give your right knee a nice soft hug in, maybe a little rock here from side to side. So we're just going to slowly release into our lower back, allowing back pelvis and low spine to open after all that back bending. Now we'll take a one-legged happy baby. So catching outside edge of right foot with your right hand. Allow your bottom knee, your left knee, just to kind of wing out towards that left side, left arm out to left side if you'd like. Maybe a little rock here from side to side. If you can't grab the foot, you can always just keep holding onto your knee, but just open the knee slightly out to the side, out towards your armpit. Good. Now let's release your right foot. Come on back through to center and either squeeze both knees together or you could eagle wrap right leg over top of the left. We're going to take a little twist. So hips over to the right slightly and knees over towards the left. Knees are about belly button height. And with a big heavy sigh, release your right arm open towards the right side. Right shoulder heavy towards the floor. Start to release all of the physical effort here, letting your heart rate, your breath rate start to slow down. Soft belly, soft face, soft jaw. And after your next exhale, let's unravel and come on back through to center. Take your time, you never have to rush. Both feet flat to the ground, just bring your hips underneath your rib cage again and then squeeze your left knee in. So give your left knee a little hug in, maybe a little rock. And then one-legged happy baby. Catch a hold of outer edge of your left foot. Right knee can wing wide out to the right side. Maybe right arm out as well. One-legged happy baby, a little soft rock from side to side to help release. Again, into that low back. And again, if you can't grab the foot, then you just hold on to the knee, right? And kind of open the knee towards your armpit there. And now we'll shift back through center, moving to our supine twist on the other side. So maybe wrap left leg over the right, or just stack the inner knees together. Your hips are going to the left slightly, and then your knees are coming over to the right. Big, heavy breath, letting go. Left arm sweeps out to left side. Feeling your breath, that exchange of breath. Oxygen drawing in. Carbon dioxide coming out. So this constant exchange that you have through your breath with the space around you. Drawing in and releasing. And then slowly unraveling. Come on back through to center. Give your knees one final hug, one final squeeze in towards your chest. Maybe draw your forehead up towards your knees as well. Get nice and tiny, a little tiny seed, a little tiny bead. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, release. Coming into our final rest. And if you want to do any adjustments, grab a shirt or a blanket or put something underneath the backs of your knees, then go ahead and do whatever you need to do here to really settle into this resting pose. Close your eyes if you can, or soften your gaze. Traditionally, arms are out by your sides, palms face up, but if you feel more steady, grounded, safe, comfortable with your hands resting somewhere else, then by all means, feel free to switch it up. And let go of all movement, all effort. Allow yourself to be still and quiet. Let your body soak up and absorb everything that you've just done in your practice. Feel your breath, your energy expansive and open. Willing to give and receive. Give and receive from the space around you, the people around you. Again, that exchange, that constant exchange. Giving and receiving, breathing in and breathing out. Let's finish with one more deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then shift slowly over onto one side, coming into a fetal position. And then using hands to bring you up to your seat, so you keep that sort of soft quality with you. Finding a tall seat, let's seal hands together into prayer. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.